We love when Matt Lee visits. Welcome back. We welcome Matt Lee. I'm learning some interesting things here about selling or buying. The difference between a chattel and a fixture.
Yes.
Set the tone for us here.
Okay, so fridge, stove, washer, dryer, if they're not built in, are a chattel. If they're not written into the agreement as an inclusion, you take them with you. Dishwasher or overhead microwave are screwed to the wall, they're built in, and that's a fixture. And you know, you can get down to the nitty-gritty of you know, mirrors of, you know, one that hangs on a hook is a chattel because you can pick it off and take it with you, and if one's screwed to the wall, it's a fixture, and you get into these things. And the difference,
a chandelier.
It's a fixture because it's actually connected with the electrical, and it's actually screwed to the ceiling. So fixtures stay with property. They automatically stay with the property unless specified differently. Okay. So if you have an armoire that is a family heirloom that you've screwed to the wall for some reason that you know, for any reason so it doesn't tip or anything, and
that's got to stay.
It's got to stay. If there's a screw to the wall, it stays. So you get into these things where you're listing a property. You need to really have these conversations where you explain all of what we're talking about out to the person and say, is there anything in this house that I'm not seeing that I need to know about that you're going to take with you? Because the thing is that somebody could say, well, that light fixture over there was a gift and we need to take it with you. So there's a couple different ways you can handle that. One is take it off right now, replace it so that nobody sees it, and you just put a new one in.
Before the offer is there.
Before you even start showing the property.
Right.
Because then nobody has any idea what's hanging there and that you've put a new one in and it's taken care of. Or you can say to be replaced prior to closing with something suitable.
So obviously the onus is on the owner that is selling to remove that family heirloom, that beautiful chandelier from
and make sure that it's
grandma.
Actually noted.
Yeah, and if you tell someone that I'm going to take that with you, it's up to you to replace it with a chandelier. Yeah,
absolutely. So the thing is that something that is going to be equal value or something that's agreeable to the buyer is the better way of putting it. So the thing is that if somebody says, well, I don't really like that one anyways, but you know, if we can put this one in, I'll take this, and you know, then all of a sudden the buyer may pick the chandelier or the light fixture or a fan or something, and then the seller may pay for it depending on how they work it in an agreement. I mean, it could be done many different ways.
And it makes sense for the buyer to come in and, you know, after the offer's been accepted and they're moving in and they walk into the kitchen, there's a big gaping hole underneath the counter where the dishwasher used to be.
Yeah, no, that can't happen. So that's why we do walkthroughs the day before closing to make sure that everything's kind of sitting the way it's supposed to be. You know, if I'm closing on a deal, we make sure we're in either the morning of or the night before, so we have an idea of what's there and make sure there's nothing out of place.
Okay, how about this? At Walmart, you can get very beautiful decorative shelves.
Yeah.
That you screw to the wall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Screwed to the wall, it stays. So the thing is that, you know, I heard an analogy from a lawyer one time that said if you can actually imagine picking up the house and turning it upside down, anything that shakes loose and that comes, you're taking with you. Anything that stays there stays, and it's a fixture. So it's one of these things that if it has a screw in the wall, it's going to stay.
What about just a simple picture hanging on the wall? I can take that picture off, it's mine. What about that little nail?
The nail stays.
Really?
The nail stays. It's one of these
funny?
things. Yeah, I mean, you get into, like we're talking about houses, you know, and you could go even further. Like, I mean, you get into farms. I mean, you get into a farm where all of a sudden there's these expensive gates. Well, you open the gate and the gate lifts off. Well, because it's on a pin. Or, you know, docks at cottages. All of a sudden, docks used to, you know, it was very simple because somebody built a dock out of wood, and all of a sudden now you could go up to 40, 50 grand in a dock, and if it pulls apart with a pin, it's like, is it specified? Whose is it?
Oh, that's
what
a fascinating conversation.
Yeah, so you have to make sure that it's definitely in the agreement or it's removed prior.
Matt, we'll see you next week.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Real Estate Review was brought to you by Matt Lee of Royal LePage Pro Alliance. Have a question for Matt? Ask it online at mattlee.ca.